Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios. Ademola Lookman, the reigning CAF Player of the Year, has officially deleted everything about Atalanta on his social media page. The Nigerian player has come out to say that they should let him go free. Ademola Lookman. Hashtag free our brother. Uncanny Sam and the Bishop joins me as we look at the transfer saga involving the Nigerian and the Italian club Atalanta. Earlier, a few years ago, or just about a year ago, it was a transfer dispute between then reigning African Footballer of the Year, Victor Osimhen, and Aurelio De Laurentiis of Napoli. And we knew how that transpired for 2 consecutive transfer windows until, of course, Victor Osimhen now signed for Turkish side Galatasaray. Despite the promises or hype of going to one of the biggest clubs in Europe, he ended up with a club who is arguably the biggest in Turkey, or the biggest rather in Turkey for Lookman. There were conversations of joining, of course, Paris Saint-Germain last summer. That did not materialize. He stayed with the club he led to winning their first trophy in a very long time, winning them and scoring a hat-trick, if I'm not mistaken, in the final of the UEFA Europa League. Guys, it's crazy for Ademola Lookman. He's not getting younger, even though we had, from all indications, the amount offered by Inter Milan was a was a little amount, an average, a paltry sum in terms of
compared to what guys are going for.
Compared to what
guys are going for.
A player like Luis Diaz, not to bring him down.
Don't go too far. No need.
No, I'm even talking of wages.
Okay.
Has gone to 267 from 63.
Yeah, from 63.
These guys are not even offering anything for a player that is African. You cannot put Ademola Lookman and Luis Diaz in the same caliber. No. Lookman would dust him in almost everything. But guys, it is happening right before our own eyes. The club have said, no, you're not going to join an Italian club until you get an offer outside of Italy, and the offers is not coming. What happens to Lookman right now? The transfer market, the season starts in less than in a week.
2 weeks. 2
weeks. The Italian season starts with the cup.
Yeah, so the cup, exactly.
With the cup
competition immediately, so a week
before the league starts. So it's less than a week for him.
Less than a week, yeah.
And he's unsettled. Crazy for the Nigerian.
So you just ask so many questions, right? One of the questions you ask is, who manages these guys? And how do they allow things to get to this level?
One, who's the agent?
Which is what I'm talking
Very
about.
key.
Agent, guys that manage them.
Who surrounds this player?
This is no rocket science. Modern football. A lot of people are doing it. Why can't we do the same thing? You know, most of the times we want to rush and blame the club. Yes, the club has its own share of blame, sincerely speaking. The club has its own share of blame, right? But the chunk of the blame should go to guys that manages this guy. Because if you want to append a signature on anything, make sure that you read. You know the funny thing, most of us do this kind of a thing.
Yeah, you will sign.
You don't agree with the terms and conditions because it's lengthy. You understand? You
don't read terms and conditions.
You feel there's nothing to harm you there, but there could be something that will harm you. There could be something harmful. That if you take your time to go through it gradually, you'll be able to, fish it out and say no, I'm not going to agree with ABC. And if that's what they're holding on to, you might want to believe with them that look, they have a genuine case, but come on, beyond having a genuine case, that's what we call the bigger picture. That's
the human picture.
The bigger picture, the bigger picture now. If I'm having an issue with Nonso, right, I'm not going to write Nonso off completely right now because of just this issue that we're having. I'll look at the bigger picture. Who has Nonso been to me over the years? So will I, because of this singular issue now, just act funny or stupid to Nonso and forgetting about every good thing that has happened between me and him for years? So
this guy has brought joy to the city of Bethlehem.
That's what I'm trying to say. For the sake of the bigger picture. For the sake of the bigger picture. You try to be lenient. I understand these guys. I mean, they're heartless, they are ruthless, it's all about their money and this thing. That's what we call the bigger. For the sake of the bigger picture at times. You try to, exercise some sort of claimers. You be a bit lenient in certain things. We understand that. And if you ask him, did you read and see this particular portion and went ahead and append your signature? Maybe, I don't know if you say yes or no. But come on, like I said, for the sake of the bigger picture, come on. Treat him with some sort of respect and mercy.
I think if you look at Ademola Lookman, there was this.
Ademola Lookman is not a talker. He's not a talker.
No.
The quiet
person.
Yeah.
He had this back and forth with the coach. Remember Giuseppe Meazza, who for once I felt was ungrateful because he was called the coach with the near success syndrome. Always getting to final.
Until Ademola Lookman
appeared in the final of the Europa League, scored a hat-trick and won his first his only trophy for Atalanta. Now he's left for greener. If there's anything like greener passion for Giuseppe.
I think Roma, right?
Yes, for Roma. But the question remains. I want to be sincere with you. And the Pakasi said, according to Ademola, he said he had a gentleman agreement. Didn't you learn from Osimhen, who has a gentleman agreement with
an
Italian?
With a mafia.
With an Italian who has a gentleman agreement. It's like having a gentleman agreement with Abdul on his birthday. Please, every agreement.
Please. Office camera.
Every agreement must be put on paper and signed. There's a reason why they called a release clause. Where we say any club that meets, not any Italian club. They didn't, like you said, I want to give it to the agent. What were they doing? This guy was looking like a prospect before he signed this new deal. Was like 2 years ago. You would have put it there. Don't forget, he has a contract with them to 2026. So they're not even forced. They're not obliged to sell it.
Listen.
They can still wait to the next transfer window. So all they have done is, okay, we're signing a new contract. Thank you very much. Put a buyout clause that any club who meets this offer can buy. We heard that Inter Milan brought a 40 million euros offer. They declined. They've upped it up to 550 million euros. And now Inter Milan are telling you now it's not about the amount of decline. It's about the amount that they are not Italian. And we are
they don't want to sell to an Italian club.
Who has a gentleman agreement with a mafia? He said, no for me. For me, like I said, I give it to the handlers. If you didn't learn from the Victor Osimhen issue, you have to learn more.
You know, the painful part, guy.
Funny enough, let me just say something. Like, there is a method that these things follow. It will start by you having some little issue with the club.
Yes, small.
Remember the penalty that he missed? Came from the
penalty.
Came from the bench, scored a goal, then missed a penalty. Then he went and said so many crazy stuff about him.
The coach said that they would have been in the knockout phase. They would have not been in the qualifying phase, or rather, they would have been in direct knockout if you had scored the penalty. A player that when you were down
came in and
scored what gave you like a hope.
You remember the same time
Osimhen.
Yeah, he missed a penalty.
They now didn't release the video.
That video was so bad. They had to take it down.
That looked like a racist video.
No, he's trying to mock the penalty or something. Yeah. So then the next thing is the issue of his transfer. The same thing. This guy.
So it's looking like
it's well planned.
Like it's a script.
Yeah, it's a script. It's well planned because it's following the same method.
Systematic criticism. Because I'm
trying to play.
No. If you don't call it that.
See, I'm one person that I don't see. I look at the fact of the matter, right? Okay. I don't easily rush to.
Is it a coincidence that happened to two back-to-back?
Is it a coincidence that after that happens to you, that's why
you did not learn?
Simple. Is it a coincidence that after it happens to Victor Osimhen, you didn't bother to learn? Is it a coincidence?
That's my problem. They're not learning. Who is their representative? This is not any player. This is the African footballer of the year. And you're tossed like a pack of cards. These guys don't respect us. We know it's Italian mafia will tell you. See,
no.
Let me explain it. Let me explain
why I say so. Yeah, but we give them reason.
We give them reason because we don't do. I don't think an English player will sign a contract without putting a release clause. Even as down as Barcelona will tell you a release clause because they know that at some point there could be a bigger picture. There could be a better club somewhere. And unfortunately for, like you said, for Lookman, the club is Inter Milan, but now they're telling me.
I'm not
coming from abroad.
You just call this guy Diaz as wonderful as Diaz is. Look at how
easily
from 63 to 253.
Then look at the process. Look at the process.
This guy
look at how he's
that is an astronomical or galloping increase. It's not geometrical.
No, it's not geometrical.
It's a jump. Crazy stuff.
No, it's not geometrical. It's geometrical.
Exactly. And to think that this guy still had contract with Liverpool. So exactly. So how did they get the deal?
Liverpool did not want him to go, exactly. But he said, this is what it is in the paper. If a club meets this contract, I will leave.
And even right now, if they started seeing like this, they were depleted because there's no winger elsewhere. No, Ekitike is a striker. Even if they get Alexander Isak, he's a striker. So unfortunately, and of course, Diego Jota, unfortunately, God bless him. So we know what happened to him. So who sits in that room?
Gakpo.
But because of this, written in black and white,
everything was.
They had to let the boy go. He said, "My chapter at Liverpool has ended." This man, and Liverpool said, "Thank you very much. God bless you." And Liverpool says, "My chapter at Liverpool has ended." They say, "No, we can't sell it to an Italian team." Because it's not written in black and white. When he said, what is gentleman? See, the worst lie in this one, I used to tell Abdul this before. The worst thing is that gentleman agreement. Please let it be on black and white.
What happens next for him? Because
what happens next with him? Sincerely speaking, nobody knows. Sincerely speaking, if you say this is what happened next with him, you're just lying to yourself.
He's staying put.
I see.
The club
you just took it out of my mouth. You just took it out of my mouth. Now, guess what they will do to him?
They have no chills.
They might already make him useless.
Yes.
So by the time he wants to leave next year, he will have no value.
Exactly.
And that's 1 year again taken out of his career.
So they just suck him dry. Because he wants to keep playing so that he keep relevant. So he keep playing well for them because of his personal ambition.
He might not have the luck.
And by then he's done. By then he's living 29, 30.
He might not have the luck. He might not have the luck that
Osimhen has. He may not have it.
He might not have that luck. So he's in a hole right now. He's in a dungeon right now.
Can he buy out his contract?
He can't.
That's a problem.
Of course, that's
an option.
How does he buy it out? Come on.
Well, the lesson is simple. The lesson is simple.
Please,
No,
everybody.
Now, the lesson is this.
Get a good
Beyond
agenda that knows his
beyond
job.
football,
See, there are
have a
sport-
team.
There are sport. I mean,
Have a team. Look at Erling Haaland.
Yeah, wow, fantastic.
His dad
you could
controls
team.
see.
the entire thing that works
See.
with Erling Haaland.
Ask yourself a simple question: how comes everybody in the NBA want to work with Paul Rich?
Why? Why?
Rich Paul,
Why does everybody want to work
the
with
cross sport guy.
this guy? What's this? Mendes or this other guy that handles Pop. I remember that too.
No, Mendes. Mendes.
Mendes is another guy again.
It was Raiola, but
Areola, but unfortunately
Ariola is gone. Yeah,
Sadly.
Ariola is gone.
Sadly.
Yeah.
So who? Because of what they do, he may take a chunk amount of money, but he keeps you.
But they give you a good contract that
Yes.
that is
That
only
we can
benefit
pay
you
for the
too.
amount he's collecting.
Yes, because I mean, sport players are all over.
Yes.
Sport players are all over.
All over.
How much are you going to pay? I don't know. Maybe let's not say more than what probably with because we feel it was a careless mistake on the part of practically everybody. Yeah, on the part of practically everybody, as far as his team is
It's
concerned.
help from him himself.
The thing is this, right? Having a lean team is nice, but that lean
That
team knows
knows
what they are
something.
doing.
Yeah, that's the
all.
best. That's the
That's
best. Well, the lessons is clear for Nigerian players or players rather. You should have a proper management team. It is one thing to play football on the field of play. You cannot be the footballer and the
And then
accountant.
you can't be no.
You cannot be the footballer
And the
and your
agent.
manager.
You can't be and the photographer. Because that people has photographer and
See,
PR.
these guys are Shylocks, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for they'll pounce on. They're looking for your little arrow. Those
Even in
gaps
the
you're gonna
contract,
make.
looking for gaps in the contract.
That's what I'm trying to say. They're looking for the
Not
pounce.
nothing that is not
So
put in
they
the
don't
contract
even
at all.
want to even make the contract look so cumbersome.
Yeah, so that it looks like at some point.
And they know what they actually.
Ademola Lookman finished what in the Ballon d'Or?
15.
He finished in
top 20.
top 20 in the Ballon
Top
d'Or.
20.
Look at him now.
Well,
Diaz was not even in the top.
we
20.
just have to hope that he settled this very soon because the bigger picture is the Super Eagles suffer.
Yes, because
Now we have a crucial World Cup qualifier
Against South
coming
Africa.
up.
You guys are still
No,
hopeful.
even though we know say
Mokuna,
Come on now.
no, the girls don't put them under
Under
pressure.
pressure.
Mokuna,
So we
stop
hope
this thing.
say,
The
but
boys
imagine
wake up.
Ademola Lookman
It's
not
no
acting.
longer in their. If it is in their hands, my brother, Mokuna.
Our
forget
hands
this
are
thing.
open, wide open to receive.
Organize
What
and
we can
everyone
get.
give Super Eagles. Well, like person talk for YouTube say be like say they just draft Super Falcons players when they come play the remaining qualifiers. Make we know say even though they lose, they go give us joy. It is. But we must say for Ademola Lookman, we wish him the best. I hope he settles this very quickly. He needs to play football again. That's what he loves doing. He's not the press guy. He's the one who keeps quiet, does allow his talking happen on the field of play.
Yeah.
So when players like this suffer in this manner, I feel pain for them because he's not the one that would normally rant.
Or
He's
call
not the
a
one that
press
would normally
conference.
sit down,
Call
call a press conference. Even when he had that issue with, of course, Gasperini,
He just
the only thing he wanted to do was to spell out the right information
and then he turned back
because
to play
he
football.
clearly said it then that he did not take the penalty at his own accord.
He was
asked
asked
By the penalty taker to take the penalty and why will you decline, and all of that. But we wish him the best and I hope he gets to settle it. But also a lesson for Nigerian players and our players. There is no word.
Athlete generally.
There's
African
no
athletes.
word as a gentleman agreement anywhere. If it's not written,
It's not.
it's not written. Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.